Welcome back to the Layman's Law School. Today is a very special episode because...
Super special.
Super special. Because it's actually going to be airing on my birthday.
Happy birthday.
So this is
Happy 30th.
I'm not going to say
right.
anything because it's not your birthday. You said airing on your birthday. I'll tell you happy birthday on your birthday. I'm not allowing this to become a month-long propaganda thing that my wife does and you do as well.
Celebrate.
I'm not going to do that. We're just having today, though. I have a special surprise because I know how much you love surprises.
Oh, yeah.
But for my own birthday present.
As much as Chase loves my life.
Usually when you have surprises, you have swag that you're bringing.
Oh, I have some things.
Okay. You've got a bag of swag.
I have a bag of something.
Oh, great. Even better.
So,
yeah, definitely going to.
Today, we're going to have a little, I'm going to call it Lindsey's birthday bar exam.
Okay.
So a fun little 3 rounds, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Every round is different. Mm-hmm. We're going to have, it's like Jeopardy, but not. But because there's rounds and there's categories.
Is there double Jeopardy?
No.
Then it's not Jeopardy.
But the treat of it all, as it being my birthday, of course, is that I get to be the judge of these answers and who gets points. No, it's not. So you're going to like this. This isn't really about what's wrong or right. Like, you're going to get to, show off your lawyer stuff.
Oh.
And I thought that was important. We're breaking the format today just to be able to do this fun thing. Okay.
I'll finish. Can I just say I want to finish last and just call it?
Nope. No. All right. So we got 3 rounds. Lawsuits Gone Wild. Legal Myths. Hold on. Let me put our readers on. Dumb Criminals. All right. I'm going to present some scenarios. And you're gonna have to
talk for hours about dumb criminals.
And you're gonna have fun today. All right. Points are gonna be awarded per round. I'm the judge, my rules. And the winner is gonna get something really cool. All right. So I'm sure you're asking, how am I gonna buzz in? Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well,
yeah, that was it.
So I did ask our marketing assistant to go on the hunt for buzzers.
Chimichanga?
Yes, Chimichanga. That's her nickname.
Once again, she failed.
Well, it's not really her fault. I feel so. Stores said that they were in stock, and then she went on this wild goose chase to search for them, and they were not in stock. So technically, it's not her fault. It is these online systems we have now that
misrepresentation.
Fraud. So instead, we figured something else out.
I can't wait. It's a chicken.
What are they, kazoos? We just blowing a kazoo?
This is worse.
Hey! So you hold up here.
Well, the good news is, and I won't be holding this up very much, so that's fine.
That's fantastic.
So if you've seen the trend,
is this Mr. Clean? Did they just take Mr. Clean
and put it into? It does look just like it, Sean.
The trend on social media where you're turning people into caricatures. And then I also made one for me too. Even though I won't be answering. So let's hold all ours up.
They added some. Well, they added some youth. My teeth are.
Let me go ahead and tell
my teeth look great.
That little eyebrow is on point.
Yeah, they got it.
They got that little spiky eyebrow.
They got these right there.
The crow's feet.
The crow's feet. They got those.
So
right
let me get my arm ready to raise for these questions.
So there's a big group photo that we did, and we'll pop it up on the screen here so you can see. So we did the trends as well. And what I thought was great is, out of all the things that AI tried to figure out, they made sure that Sean's cup said,
perfect.
This is probably vodka, which is hilarious. Like, they got our logo wrong, but they got that right. I mean, way to go. So you can see that on the screen.
Let's see yours. Did you raise yours up?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Come on now. You got a little gray. I mean, you're going natural.
I think it may have used my...
Can't help what AI does.
Yeah,
That's right. Look.
That's true. I got a lot more.
AI made me Mr. Clean.
Look, I got a lot more gray than that. I mean, that's crazy talk.
All right. So let's jump into round 1. I'm going to tell you how it works. All right. I'm going to present a case.
Yes, I'll answer.
You're going to react. You won't use these for every round, but you can if you want to. If you want to go first over somebody else. So you're going to react and answer, would you take this case and use your best argument for or against like the case to get the point? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Are we ready for the first case? Okay. Case number 1, the 67 million pants. It's like $67 million pants. In 2005, Judge Roy Pearson of Washington, D.C. dropped off a pair of pants at the dry cleaners. The dry cleaner returned what Pearson claimed were the wrong pants. Pearson, a sitting administrative law judge, sued the family-owned dry cleaner for $67 million. He later reduced his demand to $54 million. His math? He multiplied the number of violations of D.C.'s consumer protection law by the number of days the cleaners were open, and then multiplied that by the number of defendants.
I knew he was going to take it.
Do you want to know the result first?
I don't want to know the result.
Okay, would you take the case?
I would absolutely not take the case.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Because frivolous things like that give attorneys that are working for injured people, people that have really suffered injustices or problems, a bad name. And that administrative law judge who thinks his lost pants are worth any more than $54 is ruining
doing a disservice.
Plaintiff's lawyers' name, ruining the system.
Okay.
I would. My response is that I really, really want to go against Sean because I thought he was going to make a joke about trying to sue these people, but I wouldn't take it for a lot of reasons. I mean, there's no way I'd take it just because I think it's stupid. Every single thing that Sean said, I agree with. I wouldn't do it that way. And it's a mom and pop store. You reach out to them and try to work it out well before you file a lawsuit. You probably can come to some kind of agreement. Everybody goes away happy. And judge is just being a jerk, in my opinion. And they probably awarded him some money because there's violations that you get automatic payment on. And if you can list them, I used to do some in federal court, Consumer Protection Act, where you get automatically $1,000 per violation. So maybe that's what he's going after. But I'm still with Sean on this. I don't like it. I don't want it.
All right, Chase, would you take it?
I think you should give Sean the points.
Okay.
He gave a great answer, and those petty little fights is what gives us a bad name.
So you'll be happy to know that the result is that he lost.
Good.
The judge dismissed
Thank
the
God.
case. Yep. And Pearson also lost his job as an administrative law judge and was denied reappointment.
Nice.
The dry cleaning family, unfortunately, though, spent $100,000 in legal fees defending themselves and eventually had to close their store.
That's why I wouldn't have gone after him to begin with.
That is a tactic, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that happens
that's
quite a
bull.
bit. There'll be startup breweries that name their drink the Monster of whatever. And they named it before Monster Energy Drink. And Monster Energy Drink knows that they can afford lawyers for the next 10 years.
I would never say that the Augusta National would do everything like that, but who knows what happens.
All the time, and it's
that?
not right.
Yeah,
I would never say that the Augusta National would bully somebody like that, but I don't know. We'll see.
All right, well, in this case, I do agree that Sean buzzing in early.
Oh, absolutely. We
gets
rule
the
for
point
Sean.
here.
I'm
All
pulling
right.
for Sean.
Thank you, Reed. Thank you, Reed.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This is a funny one. Speaking of products such as Monster, because it immediately made me think about Red Bull. And this is a case where in 2013, Benjamin filed a class action lawsuit against, I'm not even going to try why. It doesn't matter. It's my birthday. I wanted to say it.
There you go.
Against Red Bull, claiming the company's slogan, Red Bull gives you wings, was false advertising. He argued that after 10 years of drinking Red Bull, he had not developed wings, nor had his athletic performance or concentration improved as advertised.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to take the opposite. Go ahead. No, I'll go.
I'm going to say, just take Sean's answer from the last.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Exactly.
And just repeat it.
Just
cut right now.
Here's my. All right, I'm taking that. It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna do it. Devil's advocate here. All right, so I'm gonna take it because I'm gonna say that he did not. Not obviously he didn't get wings, but certainly he relied on it to enhance his athletic performance, and it dehydrated him, and he got cramps, and then he failed at the NFL combine.
He didn't make the team.
He didn't make the team. There we go. That's the best I can do on it. There you go.
It's a pretty good argument.
Now I got thrown out.
No.
The sad thing is that
where was this brought?
Some
California.
California
person,
I mean, maybe I don't know. I
Benjamin
would
Button,
think.
That's what we called it.
convinced
some lawyer to do.
An attorney, attorney actually filed that.
Here's what I want also people to understand if they're actually listening to this. I guarantee you this case was not done on a contingent basis like we work on, because we get a percentage of what we get, right? I just did. We get a percentage of what we get for you.
Sorry, I was saying it before you said.
This attorney got paid up front and said, all right, if you give me $10,000, I'll file it, and then I'll lose and I get your $10,000.
There you go.
If you're the if you go to a plaintiff lawyer and he wants to pay you, if he wants you to or she wants you to pay them up front, go to somebody else, because that is not a good way to start. No.
Well, I think the results are going to piss you off.
I mean, obviously, all of our cases, like you said, we operate off a contingency.
You'll be pissed.
We would never accept a case like that, even if somebody paid us.
On principle.
We wouldn't say that. Normally we operate off a contingency, but your case is so much bullshit that if you pay me $10,000, I'll file it.
Right.
We would just say, sorry, that's not the type of business we're in. It's not a viable case.
To Red Bull, buying Red Bull with some CEO, some guy that had a good idea, made a good product, advertised it.
Now, if he screws up and does something bad, absolutely.
But it's obvious to anybody that's reasonable, to me, that
this thing's gonna win some money.
You shouldn't expect to grow.
This thing's gonna win some money. I know.
From drinking a drink.
I know, but he might have relied on it for his athletic ability. I disagree with everything I said. I'm just saying I think it's going to win.
Only because Reed took the opposition of what should have been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And made your point, right? Okay, but this is going to piss you off.
I knew it was going to win.
Red Bull settled for $13 million rather than fight it out. Anyone who had purchased Red Bull between 2002 and 2014 could claim either a $10
class action.
Yeah. Why did I never get a notice?
$10. You got $10.
I should have gotten my $10 gift certificate.
Me too.
Because during that time period, there was a lot of vodka Red Bulls drank. I can promise you.
I can promise you. I thought I was flying most nights, so I don't know if I could have been in the lawsuit. But boy, vodka Red Bull. Whew, yes, there was a phase in life when that was.
I had a feeling just. Here, I was like, this isn't going to win. It's going to make, that's bad.
You want a VRB? Yes, I do. Vodka Red Bull.
So, Red Bull.
There was some technicality, I guarantee you, with what they were advertising.
They didn't admit to wrongdoing, but they agreed to change their marketing.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. Now,
who is that? What's Benjamin's last name so I can find him?
Carruthers.
Do we know what state that was in?
It doesn't actually say.
Yeah, it's not Georgia. It's not South Carolina.
Go
I can tell you that.
social media and shame him publicly. Shame him.
No, and shame the lawyer that. I mean, the lawyer's the one who got paid.
Whoever represented him, shame.
The lawyer's only one who got paid. Everybody else got $10.
Shame.
All right. Well, I saved room for this one because this is one we've all talked about before. Okay.
I can't wait.
The McDonald's hot coffee story.
I'm gonna recuse myself because I get too angry with how this is viewed.
You can't recuse yourself. Okay. Chase has already put his thing out there.
We know all this one.
So if you happen to be listening and you don't know what happened, let me give you a brief synopsis. I love this. What people think happened. What people think happened
Not even close.
is a greedy woman spilled coffee on herself and got millions from McDonald's for being clumsy. The poster child for frivolous lawsuits.
Yeah.
What actually happened was that Stella Liebeck was 79 years old, sitting in the passenger seat of her grandson's parked car, cut between her knees to add cream and sugar, and the car had no cup holders. The coffee was served at 180 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to cause third-degree burns in 2 to 7 seconds. She did indeed suffer third-degree burns on 6% of her body, including her inner thighs and groin. She was hospitalized. She required skin grafts. She lost 20 pounds and was disabled for over 2 years. Now, McDonald's had received, this is what we've talked about this before. I know if you watched our show, you remember this. The problem with this is that McDonald's was aware of this. They had received 700 plus previous burn complaints. And so it wasn't the fact that coffee spilled. It was they were aware of
there's 1,000 things you can go into of why. Because how terrible it was.
So the kicker, a McDonald's witness testified that 700 burn injuries was insignificant compared to the billions of cups of coffee sold. A juror later said that when they decided the company needed to be punished. So the discussion is this is the case that people argue about for tort reform, right?
Yep.
And so knowing the real facts, was this frivolous? You already know that we don't think that. But what does this teach? What is the number one thing that you think this should teach people about the justice system? That's your question to answer.
All right, I'll start it.
You didn't raise your.
I don't care.
I'm
not even going to talk about. I'm going to lead into you. Right. This is the first thing that they give you. At least when I went to law school, this is the first case they give you because everybody has this misconception. They're also going to teach you one of the biggest things that we talked about on other podcasts or intentions. Right, intentions of Google and Facebook and all this. The defense had an intention to make fun of this woman and to make this a laughing stock and make this the front of tort reform, and they put it out there to the public, and the public ate it up. And that's just not what happened. So either read the book about it, or even easier, there's a documentary called Hot Coffee. It's an hour and 30 minutes. You can watch it on Tubi, Pluto, Sling, Amazon, YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, all the stuff. Just
the point.
Just watch it. I guarantee you'll love it, and it'll change your mind about anything you think about plaintiffs' attorneys and tort reform and all that. And to prove my point on that, if you know Jim Haddon, ask him. He was one of my closest friends. Who'd always thought that what we did was terrible. Blah blah blah. He called me one day and said, "Reed, I need to apologize to you. I watched that. I have a completely different perspective now because it is completely different than what we were fed as a general public."
Yeah.
I'm not even arguing the case. That's all I'm going to say.
No, that's not the question anyway.
Well, first of all, I would say that the first law school case that I was introduced to or with was like, what is that? Penoyer versus Neff? Personal jurisdiction. Wasn't the McDonald's one.
Yeah. This was the intro everybody
this
got.
Was
This
like
was
the
the big
1800s case that they started me out with for some reason.
Does that matter on what law
obviously
school you went
to? You were much more advanced than me. They started like present day. I was in the 099 law school class.
Should we notate what law school each of you went to point that out?
No, but what I would say is that what we see as the general public in the media, what we see as the general public from people in social media commenting on things that have happened in the courtroom, generally need to be taken with a ginormic rock of salt, not a grain of salt.
Good point.
Because those people weren't in the courtroom.
Yeah.
So when you have let's say you have someone who's charged with, a horrible crime, child molestation, and a judge gives them 10 years in prison, and no one was in the courtroom that is commenting on this.
Why did they give him life?
Everybody's commenting on that.
Electric chair.
When if you were in the courtroom, it may be that the district attorney or assistant district attorney suggested that sentence based on their, comprehensive review of the evidence, based on problems in the evidence, things like that. Or, you have certain cases where a hearing is done initially and a case may be thrown out, and then later on, it is presented to a grand jury that has the authority to indict it, and it's indicted. That doesn't mean that the person that made that decision initially was wrong. You have to get the transcript, or you would have had to been there to know what that particular jurist saw. So I would say that if people want to really give criticism to what happened in a particular case, that they should know that the McDonald's coffee was served hotter than anyone else serves coffee, that McDonald's knew that it was served hotter than anyone else serves their coffee, and they chose to serve it hot because they wanted it to remain hot for their customers. They should know that McDonald's had 700 other complaints. They should know how bad a 4th-degree burn down to the bone is. Everybody talks about, the person had 3rd-degree burns. How about a 4th-degree bone or 4th-degree burn in your genital area down to the bones in your thighs and pelvis?
Ow.
I mean, those are things that people don't, when they think, this is a frivolous lawsuit.
Well, and not damage and not interrupted, but like just the liability. You could talk for an hour on liability. People think it's stupid. Oh, she dropped it on herself. Liability. Oh my gracious! Please watch it or look it up. Liability is insane.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So I just wish that people, anytime that you see something in a lawsuit and it tickles a part of your brain that says this is 100% wrong, this is ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, there's more to the story.
Sure.
That's
100%.
Yeah, that's
literally the basis of our show.
If we've got 12 jurors that have sat through weeks of testimony and awarded millions of dollars, it's for a reason. So like it should put you on your guard about should I make a judgment about this? If it rings a real bell, because there are marketers, there is money behind marketing that message, and it's designed to get you to think a particular thing that is in most cases not true. And for all the men out there that are thinking about that, you tell me if a company that knew that this was a big risk and weighed the cost benefit of, hey, we're going to burn 700 people a year, right? And because we'll have to just pay 2 or 3, because I think that was the ultimate goal.
It was one day of coffee.
It is 1 day of coffee for McDonald's, like $2.6 million or something like that was given to the grandchild. Would you accept
2.7, but
to have third-degree burns on your genitals for $2.6 million?
Not me.
And
have reconstructive surgery. I mean,
multiple.
I've told y'all to research it. Do yourself a favor. Don't look at the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good
But just listen to the documentary. Don't look at the pictures.
They're rough.
All right. So that's the end of round one.
Oh, I thought.
No, we're moving on. Okay. We got to keep it moving.
I feel like Chase gets that one. I feel like it's.
Right.
I feel like it's 3 for 3. 1.
I agree.
1-1.
All right. So I agree. In the first one, I like Sean's answer. Second
you gave
one,
me the second one, yeah.
And then I like Chase's at the end there. Okay, like bringing it home. So everybody's even right now. We're all tied.
I like it.
I'm about to have to roll up my sleeves.
All right. Well, round 2 is legal myths, fact or fiction. Now remember, this is correct. This is not. This is about speed. Okay.
The speed round.
You said it is about speed.
Well, I mean, I think.
I don't like that.
All right, I'm going to read a statement.
Okay.
Now, I don't think that y'all are going to get any of these wrong, okay? So some of it might come down to the whole point of our show, right, is explaining things in simple terms. So I'm going to challenge you with you get the point based on how well how simply you can explain this.
Do we
being
all
fact
get an opportunity to
No, this is...
Well, then how? Then I can just explain
speed
it
round.
like stupid.
Speed round.
You still win because I'll be the first one.
Well, you might not get a point. These are my rules. You might not get a point. Okay.
Well, they won't then.
That's right.
That's fine.
I'll just do first every time. Just ruin it.
Don't do that.
But if you raise your face, she won't finish the question.
I like to know the rule. Right.
That's a good
if
call.
If you raise your hand,
I know, but then y'all don't get to answer it.
Why are you being so difficult?
Because I like to know the rules.
These are the rules.
I know, but I like to.
The rules are Lindsey's in charge. Be quiet.
That's right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Chase has got a bonus point for that.
Fine.
My rules.
Take away my point. I don't care.
All right. So we're basically talking about like things people have seen in movies, you heard from your uncle, or you just assume were true, right? Like, let's find out. So myth number 1. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Undercover cops have to tell you they're
Absolutely
cops.
Not. Absolutely not.
There's just a few quick.
If you ask them.
All right, explain quickly.
Police can absolutely lie to you. Absolutely, they can lie to you. And if an undercover cop, is asked if they're a police officer, they absolutely do not have to tell you that they're a police officer. There's just no rhyme, reason, or explanation that I can give any better than that.
I got a better one. The law says that they don't.
So basically the movie The Departed was probably more accurate because they literally beat his hand against the thing and he's like, I'm not a cop.
Such a great movie.
Yeah. That is such a good movie.
The code says that cops can lie. The end.
You cheese
what they
eating
can't do is
stinking rat.
engage in illegal conduct. Yeah. So a lot of times people will ask
when they're undercover?
When they're undercover, they're not supposed to be engaging in illegal conduct. But there's a lot of gray areas.
I was about to say, right? There has to be. Okay, myth number 2. If the cop doesn't read you your Miranda rights.
Go, Sean. Let him. He's got
like
the cop
these are all
stuff.
Sean
These are just all me.
They're all cop
it's
stuff. Like, yeah.
I don't even know what the question is.
Yeah, it's
I
just,
know.
I can already tell you that Miranda
if a cop
rights
does not read you your Miranda
Well,
rights,
you're right. I didn't read the whole
it
question. So let's see if he
absolutely
addresses it.
does not matter unless they are trying to introduce the statement that you've given them after you are in custody. So if you get pulled over for a traffic stop and the cop thinks you're drunk and asks you questions about have you been drinking, etc., he doesn't have to read you your Miranda rights. This is an investigatory stop, and
you don't have to answer.
You're not in custody. You're not free to leave, but you're not in custody. If you are in custody and you are being subject to interrogation, which means questioning by law enforcement about a crime, that is the only time that a law enforcement officer has to read you your Miranda rights. And then we go a step further. Even if the officer did not read you Miranda rights, but all your answers were that you didn't do it, that this wasn't you, etc., would we move to suppress that statement? No.
Yeah, why does it matter?
If you fully, confess to the crime, well, then obviously we're going to, go through the motions and try and get that
statement. Can I stop you right there?
Sure.
That wasn't the whole myth.
Go for the
ahead.
question.
Those are great points about people not being read their
He doesn't
Miranda
get to
rights.
speak anymore, though.
However,
I've already answered the question.
However, it was going to be if a cop doesn't read you your Miranda rights, your case gets thrown out. Was the myth?
The case does not get
answer is no.
And I've already answered that.
No, you didn't.
You answered
didn't
that
answer.
more.
You answered about
I answered
what kind of
that
facts.
more.
You answered what kind of facts came into play, and if they were to, but
Who
you
was
didn't
first,
talk about the
Mary?
case. Me, I win.
And-
You lose.
Oh,
Chase.
I was
Go.
you.
Chase up. You're up. Go.
Okay, so the remedy for a failure once you're in custody and you're being interrogated by a law enforcement officer, and let's say, for instance, they don't give
Read you
you
your rights.
Miranda rights,
Yeah.
and you give incriminating evidence about yourself,
Yeah.
whatever evidence they get against you is going to be thrown out or suppressed by the judge, and often that results
In the case being thrown out.
in the case being thrown out,
But not
So,
always.
Yeah.
Not always. No.
One thing, outside on top of that, Sean, I do want to ask you, though, I don't do a bunch of criminal law, all that stuff. What do you think about, is there a ton of arguments in like what is considered in custody?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Is that a bunch of
there-
I would
Yeah,
imagine. I would
there's
imagine.
case
Tons
law.
of arguments about it,
Yeah.
and it basically boils down to, when a reasonable person would be considered that they're not free to leave,
Yeah. Right.
absent a brief investigation stop,
Right.
as in a traffic citation or a suspicious person. You have to have reasonable, articulable suspicion to stop somebody for suspicious behavior of a crime. You have to have probable cause to stop somebody for a crime.
Yeah, sure.
As in,
Reasonable,
give-
articular suspicion basically means that you can explain why you thought a crime was going on.
Right.
Correct.
We have a lot of good terms for this episode.
Yeah. Well, I think,
Breaking it
that's
down.
you always hear, oh, it's simple, but no, in custody, what does in
No, and
custody mean?
that's
Like,
what gets me with these people on the internet, which
Yeah.
for some reason they come across my Instagram feed all the time, is these people that
When it's not my book stuff.
when
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
when it's
Yeah,
not
mostly Lindsey's book
when
stuff,
it's not
though,
your
right.
book stuff, it is so many people that are saying, am I detained? Am I free to go?
Oh, right.
When it's like you are detained.
Right.
You're not under arrest,
But I'm
but you're not
investigating.
free to go.
Right.
I don't answer any questions, all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you're just asking for a bad day.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm
No,
so
I
glad
mean-
you brought up that example because I do want to tell the viewers. I have been thinking about this as a topic. Okay, is doing a episode about these people who say I'm a sovereign citizen.
Ah,
Oh, don't.
If that-
no,
Please
we're not,
don't.
You don't
we're
want
not
to?
doing
Oh,
that.
I
Don't
was
even
gonna
give
say-
them
The answer
credit.
is no. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
never
it.
mind.
Don't do any of
comment
that
if you want an
crap.
episode about
that basically
No.
tickles the fancy of these people that like to thumb their nose at authority. People with
just-
oppositional defiance
All right.
disorder.
Well, we're
Yeah,
not
we
going
don't
to do
need
an
to
episode
encourage
on it.
that.
Let's not get
It's
into
so
it now either. Then,
ridiculous.
if y'all don't want to do an episode on it, okay. Let's go to the next myth. All right. You can shoot someone who breaks into your house, no questions asked.
No.
Depends on the state.
I win. No, is the answer. No questions asked is no. There's going to be questions asked. I already win.
True. I might have to get that one to read.
What's the answer?
There's going to be questions
Except
asked.
what did you say?
Yeah, and in case it determines, it's based on which state that you're in.
Yeah.
So there are states that have what they call the castle doctrine, and then basically.
But there's still questions. They're going to ask you what happened.
Oh, definitely. That's why I said I would almost give it to you. I mean, because you can't just shoot somebody and be like, "What happened?"
Sorry, that's a question right there. They ask you a question.
They're going to take you to jail.
What happened?
But no, typically, if you're in your home and you have no reason to be there, you weren't invited, you're an intruder, and you shoot someone to protect your home, usually in most cases that's going to be the castle doctrine. It's going to fall into place, and you're going to be protected. There's a lot of states.
Jason, is it Colorado?
Colorado
that we got. Yeah,
there is a castle doctrine in Colorado. The problem is that particular case, it wasn't a home; it was under construction, and it occurred outside of the home, and so there's a lot of issues with that. But in those states where you don't have the castle doctrine, you have to be under the impression, and in the state of Georgia, that you are in imminent danger of being subjected to grievous bodily harm or death.
Yeah. Right.
And then if that inference or that conclusion is reasonable under the circumstances, then typically you're not going to be held
that's the fight.
Responsible for,
that's the court fight right there.
Yeah.
What is that? What does that mean?
What's reasonable, and that's decided by jury.
Yep.
Okay.
What I would say is that if you have somebody break into your home and you shoot them and
on your front yard, pull them back inside.
No.
Sorry,
I wouldn't say that.
That was advice I was giving.
And you shoot them and injure them, or shoot them and kill them. I would say my legal advice would be that you call 911 and you say a person has broken into my home and they've been shot, and then you hang up the phone. And then when the police get there,
after giving them
you don't say a thing to the police. You talk to a attorney, and an attorney will provide a statement to the police on your behalf. And I say this at least 3 or 4 times a week during court. No one can make you answer any questions or make any statements. Not the government. That's your constitutional right to remain silent.
Yeah.
Only when you want to talk do you have to talk.
Yeah.
So when they show up and they say, what happened? You don't have to give them an explanation about anything. You say, I want to talk to my attorney. I'm exercising my right to remain silent at this point. This person broke into my home. Period. Yeah. We will talk to you with attorney-client privilege about what happened. And 999% of the time, it's going to be what you're telling me is exactly the information that I need in order to provide a succinct and concise statement that comports to Georgia law that you were in fear of
your life,
serious bodily injury or death based on these situations and circumstances. That's why I use deadly force, which I am allowed to do in Georgia.
Right. Okay. So
even in that situation, though, Sean, even in your long hypothetical question,
they're going to ask
you questions, right? Yep. So I win.
All right.
Going to ask who questions?
All right.
They're not going to ask you a question after you say you want an attorney and you invoke your right to remain silent.
But that is a question. That is a question.
All right. I'm going to ask bonus question. You only get one phone call when you're arrested.
It's absolutely not true.
Who are you going to call? She's not finished with the question.
No, that was the question.
That was the question.
Okay.
But
done.
But yeah.
Just know is the answer, Sean. You don't have to elaborate.
What I would say is, in this day and age.
But also, this came up as a hypothetical, and in our Aiken office is where I work. And Kip was like, I don't remember what we were talking about, but Kip was like, I always keep Adam, who's our criminal defense attorney. So I always keep his business card in my wallet. I'm not trying to get in trouble, but if I do, and he goes, they would take your wallet from you. He goes, you should probably just call the main number and, have our switchboard or whatever connect you. I was like, Good point. Good point.
Oh, yeah.
So that was my question. Like, they take my stuff and I don't have a number. Like, how am I going to call? What do I do?
Well, obviously I grew up when I was young in an age where I knew everybody's telephone number in my head.
I had my husband's number memorized.
We don't do that. We just don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing. I do know my wife's number by heart, thankfully, my parents' number, etc. But most law enforcement agencies that I'm familiar with, when you are booked in, will allow you to look in your phone
for a number.
Write down some telephone numbers from your phone, either on your hand or on a piece of paper, so that you can take those with you. They provide that courtesy almost always. Obviously, if you have fought with the police urinated in the back of their patrol car, you might not get extended that same grace or courtesy. But number one,
so as a rule, don't pee in the back of the cop car.
The law enforcement agency,
jails
are overcrowded. The law enforcement agency does not want you there. That you're being arrested because you committed a crime. You are, going to have a bond or be set a bond later. And if they can get you out of there with some reasonable assurance that you're going to come to court and see to these charges or allegations, they're going to try to get you out because, in this, at least in our area, the jails are full and they don't want you in there any longer than you have to be in there.
So, I'll just answer that. All you have to remember is 4 numbers: 706 4 4. That's it.
That's
all
it.
All 706.
I'll put that up on the screen for you too.
If you're in the state of Georgia or the state of South Carolina, we will get you legal representations for whatever issue you have.
Absolutely.
My answer is if you're being arrested or whatever, there's not anything a lawyer can do while you're on the street. So be quiet, shut up.
That is a good point. Like once you're in,
but I've had friends that got into trouble. They've called me and they're on the street while the officer's talking to them, and I'm like, that's not where the lawyer comes into play.
I feel like that's like a movie or TV thing where people are like, just talk to them.
Hold on, I'll be right there.
No, that's not.
If I'm not there in 10 minutes, wait longer.
Don't you let them take you. I'm coming.
Yeah, great advice. Don't let them take you. Don't let them take you till I get it there.
All right. Okay, that's the end of round 2. Okay.
Oh, I thought that was in.
This is final Jeopardy.
This is the final round. Okay. This is.
How many points do I have? I need to know how much I'm wagering.
I stopped counting.
$1 million. I got it as.
At this point, this is wherever
y'all decide in the comments.
Alex.
That's right. That's great.
Perfect.
Tell us in the comments.
Alex, I'm going to make it a true double Jeopardy. All of my points.
Okay. All right. We're going into round 3.
John, I'm betting everything but one.
Actually, I don't want to spoil this. Like, spoiler alert, but the bonus question at the end for like 10,000 points is actually about fantasy books. So.
It's about what?
Well, I'm going to kill this.
I think you should do great because you've been following all my stuff on Instagram.
I don't know anything.
All right.
Can I phone a friend if I answer?
You can check my Instagram.
Yeah. 706 all fours.
What's your handle?
At palmetto.bell.
There you go.
Shameless plug.
There
All right. Round 3. Dumb criminals. All right. So the way this one works is...
I feel like me and Chase should get some points already because this has been criminal. And, Sean has been a bunch of, we're fine.
I'm related to a lot of dumb criminals.
Are you saying that I leaned this more in his favor?
Yeah.
I mean, I might have. This is our corner.
Exactly.
That's where things go. All right. So dumb criminals. I'm going to read you a crime setup. Attorneys guess what went wrong. And then the funniest reaction or best guess gets the point.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, you're guessing what charges happened. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh.
What state?
Hold
we'll
on.
Call it Georgia. We got to call it Georgia.
They're on every single one. It tells you what state. All right. So there's 6 of these. So here's how we're
multiple. I'm sorry.
So here's how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna go around the room, and you're each gonna get 2.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's start. Who wants to go first? Anybody?
Sean.
Chase, of course.
Okay.
All right, Chase. This is...
He's the oldest. Age before beauty.
I go
last.
Right.
It might be my birthday, but I'm not the oldest.
I'm close to the end. I'm going to finish first.
All right. Criminal number 1, the social media bandit. Hannah Sabata of Nebraska robbed a bank of $6,000. Then she made a YouTube video titled Chick Bank Robber, where she flashed the stolen cash and confessed on camera. She was arrested the same day the video uploaded. It now has over 2 million views. What were her charges?
Bank robbery.
I like it.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Hold on.
Jeez, hit him with the hard ones up front.
Okay. Anyway, let's just keep going. Obviously,
Chelsea robbed a bank. What was she charged with?
I killed it. Sean, get over it.
Bank robbery?
I killed
Question
it.
mark?
I think the questions must be supposed to be like, what did she do
We're
wrong?
starting out easy.
Right? And so,
Yeah, so you start with the
what she
layout.
did wrong was bank robbery. Okay, so that was my fault, maybe. So what charges? Because that was obvious. But bank robbery, but then also like
It's
posting the evidence.
Commission of a crime.
I mean, kissing and telling. I mean, you don't kiss and tell.
All right, why don't you go next?
I like it.
All right.
Go,
The
Shawnee.
suspended suspension. Corey Harris of Michigan, where they also don't like fat people, remember? Or they do like
That
fat
is
people.
right.
Protect them. Corey Harris of Michigan was appearing before a judge via Zoom for a case involving driving on a suspended license. The judge, sorry, I saw this video the other day. The judge noticed something odd and asked, Mr. Harris, are you driving right now? He was. His bond was revoked. What would you do if this was your client?
Prior to him being arrested or
Whenever.
once he called me and said he was arrested again?
What would you do? I don't know. Just
I would explain to him.
also, this video is viral.
I would explain to him that all choices have consequences. And some consequences are good for your choices. And some consequences are bad for your choices.
He's on the bad
And if
end
you
today.
choose to operate a motor vehicle when your driver's license is suspended and you get caught, there can be some bad consequences. If you choose to show up on a Zoom proceeding in court for your already suspended driver's license charge while you're driving a vehicle with a suspended license, you are damn near an idiot. and there will be consequences for that. And your family can pay me more money to try and help you with those consequences.
And that is Michigan Statute 5-6-24, being an idiot.
Nice.
Start
signing into a
Nice.
Zoom.
Let's
Nice.
define that at the bottom of the
There
screen,
you
please, as well. All right, Reed, you ready?
Always.
The hide and seek champion.
Okay.
Diario Wilkerson
Mhm.
was wanted for a fatal shooting in Memphis. And when U.S. Marshals came to arrest him, he hid in the attic. He was in the attic. Sorry, I think that was my southern accent that kind of said that weird. He was captured when he fell through the ceiling into the room where the marshals were standing. What's the worst hiding spot a suspect has ever chosen?
In plain sight. That's easy. Unfortunately, that's probably the best now that we're really digging into the Epstein files here. So
Or
maybe hiding in plain
the
sight
US Capitol on
Yeah, the
January
U.S.
6th.
Capitol. I think anything involving, I would say the best hiding spot would probably be in the higher ranks of the government. The worst
In plain
hiding
sight was a
spot
pretty good answer,
would be,
by the way.
yeah, the worst hiding spot. I'm trying to think of it.
Have you ever had any cases that you know that we've had where somebody got in trouble for something and
yeah.
you're like, wow, you're an idiot. You should have hit someone else.
There's a lot of those. But
Sean? I figured
I
Sean
would
might have
just
some.
going off the falling through the ceiling type thing. My own brother
oh no!
in
Sorry about that, son.
high school was at a house with some friends during the day on a day that allegedly the children should have been in school.
Mm-hmm.
And the police showed up, or
Sorry, I noticed that sun was in your
maybe
face.
the public safety from the high school showed up because they knew about this senior skip day type event. And they did, in fact, hide in the attic. And
Oh, nice.
my brother's feet somehow entered the foyer
Beautiful.
of the
Beautiful.
home from the attic.
Yikes.
And obviously there was
That's-
repercussions,
Yeah.
consequences as a result.
I
of that.
would say the worst I've seen that it was under a vehicle that when the police officers were around, and then the person moved the vehicle and ran over them. They lived and everything, but yeah, that was they were hiding, and it was on a chase, jumped under the car. So that's a pretty bad one to get run over by a car when the police are right beside you. They can't find you, they don't know, and then the person that had their car parked leaves, and then there you are, hurt, and the cops go,
there you were.
There you are. I've been looking for you.
So when I was growing up, my dad told me stories about the University of Georgia and how they used to streak.
Go Dogs.
How they used to go streaking, right? As the whole campus, they would just streak, right? And so I thought it was funny and interesting, and so I decided to go streaking one night.
Yes,
and then, of course, the police showed up.
Nice.
Because we went around dancing in front of cars at stoplights.
And there's your sign.
The police.
Can you show us the dance that you did, or?
You can just, it's a standard helicopter, But when the police get out of the car and start chasing you, and you run through a number of yards, and then you see a big pile of leaves and pine straw, you dive into it and cover yourself up.
Oh, okay.
And then the police run past you. But we do have a thing in the South.
What else
called
is
chiggers?
Chiggers.
Oh,
I knew that was coming.
That tend to cover your body after you jump in a bunch of pine straw.
That's called karma.
And it's not fun getting taken in your boxers to Richmond County.
Covered in chiggers.
Covered in chiggers. With no fingernail polish.
Yeah.
Which suffocates them, if you didn't know that. Fun fact.
That happens to me, I know.
Somebody, yeah.
All right, well, let me ask the person that you know this next question. The honest thief. A Marion County, Florida man told a responding deputy, "You better have your doors locked. I like to steal cars." Moments later, he jumped into the deputy's patrol car and he took off. The joyride ended with a PIT maneuver?
Pit
maneuver. He wasn't bluffing about the car stealing tendencies. Question: has a client ever just confessed something like this unprompted? What would be the most heinous or stupid that we can talk about?
I had a client that during the deposition that the police were waiting outside because he was involved in some other stuff and not related to our case, and that he had a gun on him, and he was and so they he was convicted felon with a gun and blah blah blah. So yeah, that was during the deposition they came in and removed my client. So that's I got that one. I don't know.
I was court appointed to a case in South Carolina. I'd never represented anybody for criminal charge in South Carolina, and this was attempted murder from a father and a daughter.
Oh,
and this gentleman started stabbing the person in the truck,
Oof.
Chased her down the road with people watching, tackled her, and continued to stab her until armed citizens, guy with a gun, held him at gunpoint and told him to get off of her. And then he admitted to doing all that and then wanted me to get him off. Yeah, based on the fact that he was traumatized by his brother.
You're like, I don't think this is going to work out the way you want it to.
When he was 13 and now he's 70-something years old. But he told the police, yeah, I did that. I did all that. Yeah. I was like, all right.
I got one real fast. I was working as an investigator in Lincoln County. A guy was charged with raping this elderly woman. It was terrible. He's a huge, huge man, and we're in there just face to face. There's nothing, Sean, it's just you're sitting with the guy. And he said, I got two moods, homicidal and suicidal. And I said, well, I hope you're feeling suicidal. So it was just the two of us. I was like, I don't know.
If I actually go for that and push that emergency button, how long is it going to take someone to get here
he would kill me in 3 seconds. That's a true story.
I mean, you would be surprised at the people that
just don't know what they're saying.
No, absolutely confess to what has occurred.
Well, they think you're going to lie, right? They think you're, as an attorney. I'm like, no, that's not.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, I'm talking about to law enforcement. The way that law enforcement officers are trained, and some of them just have a natural ability to talk to people.
Yeah.
Not to promise them anything, give them any hope or benefit, but just, explain to them that, look, I'm here to get your side of the story. I'm accusing you of X.
Yeah.
What happened?
This is the evidence. you know, and I would much rather, you know, you stole this person's credit card, whatever, and ran up all these charges. That's what I have evidence of. And here, you know, here's the reason. I'd much rather you get your side of the story and get on the record. Is it some type of thing that you were in a financial hardship, you know, that you were trying to feed your family, et cetera, et cetera. If you give somebody a reasonable excuse for their criminal activity, they will take it.
Yeah,
and
confess. And I mean, I used it for years.
Yeah, it's called the Golden Bridge.
I don't know. I watched enough CSI. I don't think you could get me.
And the Art of War. If you give somebody a reasonable bridge to cross in a time of crisis, they will cross it every time.
And that's what, you know, I always try to do. You know, obviously I never treated anybody with disrespect who was involved in that, because I don't know what they've been through. I mean, I don't know what the reasoning they had committed these crimes, but I always tried to give them an out for, you know, eventually a judge or jury is going to see this case, and I'm giving you the opportunity to look like there was
You're just trying to say you was a good interrogator over here, Sean. He's like, look, let me tell you how I used to do it.
I would just try to give them. I would try to give them. Try to give them an opportunity to not look like a greedy piece of garbage for what they had stolen or what they had done, type thing. When it's like, you know, I'm happy. This is all being audio recorded. I'm happy to explain this in my report, that this is the reason. The prosecutor's going to know that that's the reason. I mean, you know, you could start your mitigation now.
Well, while we're talking about stealing stuff, why don't you take this next one? Called the Shoplifter State. A Scottish shoplifter,
Scotland.
Aaron Morrison, stole a bottle of vodka from a liquor store, but before he left,
not guilty.
He asked the clerk out on a date, leaving his name and phone number behind. Police didn't have to work very hard to find that one. What do you think he did wrong?
First of all, I would say he did wrong by stealing the bottle of vodka. Second of all, if he wanted to get away with it.
Did we say it was a bottle of vodka?
A bottle of vodka, yeah.
I wouldn't have left my calling card, you know, with the lady.
Go get a date somewhere else.
Yes. Once you got the bottle of vodka, go somewhere else and be like, hey, I got a bottle of vodka, ladies. You want to party?
So I'm actually going to say that that's actually a pretty good defense, in that he was overcome by the romance of the situation, that he actually didn't have the intent to commit the crime, and the girl was over.
He was so enamored.
He
forgot to pay.
How would I be so stupid as to leave my name and phone number with this girl? Instead, I was just so like,
I just forgot to pay.
I forgot to pay.
Wow.
And I walked out with it. So that's a good defense.
I like it.
Okay. All right. Well, last one.
Okay.
A Florida content creator was arrested after she was caught shoplifting on her own video. This is similar to the other one.
Didn't we cover this?
It's similar, but not the same. So she filmed herself stealing from a Target and posted it on social media. Cape Coral police simply watched the video to identify and arrest her. Well, I guess it was a bonus question, but it's kind of like that other one. But what do you think the dumbest thing a criminal could do to get caught? What do you think that is?
That's pretty good.
That's a question to that. So the story was stupid, but the question's pretty good.
The dumbest thing. That's tough. I mean, there's a lot of dumb things.
To get caught.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Number one thing you shouldn't do if you commit a crime that you could get caught.
I mean, I'll just stick with, social media. It's just social media. In general, just social media.
That's the thing. Yeah, a lot of times it's not as blatant as that. Like, let me film myself shoplifting.
You send your buddy a
But, I mean, we see cases all the time of, shootings, murders, things like that. Yeah. And then people either, using, whether it be text messages, Snapchat, or
social media,
outright posting about it. That
anything in writing,
or just on your phone.
The number one suspect in the shooting, posting, JoJo got what he deserved, type thing. That while that's not conclusive proof that you're the one that shot him, it's not helpful. I can tell you it's not helpful.
But they're going to be looking at you.
But it's not a hard code to break, kind of like the Epstein code. So not a hard one to break.
Well, I'll just say to all those people out there that are committing crimes, if you shoot
Please
somebody,
stop.
I know. Post about it on social media.
Yeah, I mean, don't
Make it really easy for law enforcement.
Yeah.
Please, if you're robbing a bank,
please
just,
show me that
just
bag,
live
baby.
feed that to everybody so we don't have a whole lot of rigmarole and you're not clogging up
the court system.
docket
We'd like
and stuff
open
like
and
that.
shut when it comes to that.
It needs to be played. Please, stupid criminals, continue.
And if you're robbing a bank and you only get $6,000, you're doing something wrong.
You need to watch Point Break again. Is what you need to do.
Get up a Family Dollar and get that. I mean that's crazy.
Okay.
Happy birthday!
Did y'all have fun?
Early
birthday.
Right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Who won?
So, well, I told you there was a
I think
bonus
Sean
round. I
wins.
wasn't kidding about that.
Okay.
All right. So here's the bonus round, and
Okay.
I'm not kidding.
Okay. I'm not kidding.
This is not a legal question. This is a Lindsey bonus question.
Okay.
I want you to give me your best definition of what you think a shadow daddy is. Do you need any hints?
Okay, shadow daddy. I know exactly what
I
shadow
would love it.
daddy
I would
is.
love a hint.
Okay. The hint is that my favorite shadow daddy. Yeah, okay. My favorite shadow daddy is from the series A Court of Thorn and Roses, which is a romantic fantasy series, and his name is Rhysand, and he is the High Lord of the Night Court. And that is all the clue you get. He is a shadow daddy. What?
Shadow daddies.
I don't think my response is appropriate for our viewers.
I was say shadow daddies
Well, you
they're
can
kind of
whisper it.
like baby, kind of opposite of the baby mamas a little bit. Shadow daddies kind of take care of everything, but they're just hidden, right? They just pay the money and they get things inside that we can't talk about. And they sometimes. Shadow daddies, they'll show up. Sometimes they won't, and sometimes they go to islands. Sometimes they don't. So, I think shadow daddies hopefully are coming to light in the near future. I don't
think
want
this
any
is a
shadow
biased
daddy.
question because I know that Reed's wife is probably in the same books that you are.
I can tell you.
I can guarantee you that's not right.
You know what a shadow daddy is.
That's true, but that's not correct. I'll go with
Okay.
that. That's not correct.
I think a
But I
shadow.
was
clue.
picking up what you were putting down.
I think a shadow daddy is a person that you are attracted to, but they hide their attraction from you, and they're really like quiet about it, but they do have feelings for
Like a
you,
slow burn.
and they do things for you and try to help you out and whatever. And there's this like, will he, won't he kind of thing, but they're a little bit older.
No Ross and Rachel action.
I guess, but they're older than you.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
Way
guy is
older.
yeah,
way older.
Okay.
John, what you got, buddy?
I mean, the only way I can think of a shadow
That wasn't
daddy
right either. That
would be,
partially right.
obviously it's not related to the
This is a dead person.
sci-fi fantasy fiction erotica that you're reading, but would be
Romanticy.
romanticy. Excuse me.
Not sci-fi. Fancy
Would
erotica.
be a person that has a child with a woman and is outside of the picture as opposed to the actual family that this woman is living with. So he knows that he has a child. The woman knows that this is his child, and he doesn't have any interaction with that child because he doesn't want to ruin the actual familial.
Y'all are so. Y'all have taken the daddy part so literal. Okay?
Yeah, daddy is just like a sexual interest.
Like-
I already told you that what I really think it is, I can't say on this.
You can in my ear if you want to win.
No.
This is worth 10,000 points.
I think that's. This is completely insane. I know exactly what a shadow daddy is. I've already talked about it.
That's not
Lights
it.
in the background.
That's not
shadow.
it. That's not it. But that's closer than what the
Exactly.
other ones. So
Bonus points.
no, you don't get. Nobody gets the bonus points. We'll just have to do participation stickers for everybody. All right.
What is a
I do
shadow
have a
daddy
little
then?
So a shadow daddy is a male main character who can wield shadows, and typically is dark haired. And is either a High Lord or a Fey Warrior or sometimes he's a wing leader.
Did you say that this was
is
not
insanity.
fantasy?
Yeah.
This is fantasy.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
did you miss that part?
It's not fantasy. It's romanticy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
what I heard.
That's true.
That's what I heard.
But for participating today, you can all get. But first,
But first,
some of our new podcast merch.
I like it. Nice.
Jackpot.
Participation trophies for
A
everybody.
sticker of my trauma. Thank you.
To constantly remind you.
Awesome.
Love it.
Everybody's probably logged off after we started talking about Shadow Daddies.
Yeah.
But if you're still here, thanks for watching. If you, I promise not all shows are like this. We actually format and talk about the law in a formatted structure sometimes. So if you like Layman's Law School, make sure you like and subscribe. We got some great cases coming up for you. If you got any that you want us to tackle, leave them in the comments for us, and we will see you next time. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.